All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Hymns of the Heretics. We are back after being a week, taking a week off. Um, we are uh, kind of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So, um, let's figure out where everybody is um, parked. So I think one person who's hasn't who we didn't really get to talk to too much in the last session was Freya.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
the Twitch stream is offline.
I just refreshed it. Hit
Okay.
refresh. It'll show.
Okay, thanks.
I see it. All right.
Thank you.
So
If you need an icebreaker.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Hymns of the Heretics. I love that.
It'd be the worst thing ever.
Oh, yeah, it would be the worst thing ever. So why can't men have something for men?
That's not what I was saying. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I know, but
Canceled
you
already.
know,
Only 4 minutes in.
Wow,
It's a new record.
nice job.
um. Oh,
Speed
so
running that shit now.
so for the curious kibitzer and for our um for the record, we had a really fun two session game featuring a group of courageous um ghost hunters and vloggers that dealt with sort of similar things that our Hymns of the Heretics group deals with, but they honestly did it with a lot more style and panache, if we can be honest.
Ouch. Ouch.
So, I'm curious to know, in the past kind of week of, or not even week, maybe 3 or 4 days of in-game time, um, what is going on with Freya? You're starting to get like uh these little these little doors, these little clues and breadcrumbs that are kind of like leading you in this like inward spiral, deeper into the church that you have been kind of desperate to leave behind, to become independent and to stop relying your um or I'm sorry, to stop being like uh controlled by the church of your parents. And yet here you are digging deeper. Um you get the sense, that there's more to learn and that you could dig deeper. Your obsession to your obsession with figuring out what exactly happened to you, why your memories are so fractured, it continues to kind of propel you. So in between school and the kind of like normal human young woman things that you do, um, what's next for Freya? What is Freya doing to kind of keep her momentum?
For some reason, I'm just out of it tonight. And when you said things young women tend to do, I was just like, drink blood, hold sacrifice rituals.
Yeah.
Um, but no, so
Shit.
yeah, young woman shit. So yeah, so Freya is she's been checking out the school library, like the computers again, kind of
Mm,
trying to
mm,
Google what she can, but she's noticing gaps and holes where information's been kind of retracted or edited a little bit. Um, and also she's trying to find Spark Notes on or whatever the equivalent of that today is, maybe ChatGPT, of like how to really talk about the book they're trying to cover in book club. She wants to
mm,
be, a good little performative, religious,
mm.
change of heart person. But it's making no fucking sense to her. Like it just seems like a total waste of text and paper and all of that.
Yeah. So what you can do is make a move and roll for investigate.
As a teacher, both in game and out, I'm very disappointed in you.
I'm sorry.
Not that I don't use ChatGPT to prep my courses or anything, but
You got to do what you
Don't
got to
worry.
do.
What?
Keyword.
That's the
No.
wrong one. Investigation.
If you can't beat them,
No.
join them.
No.
Oh, poor
Okay,
Andy.
there we go.
It's sad.
All right, that's a partial success. Ooh, you can ask a question, um, but you may have to pay for it.
Yeah, let's do that. We always, love paying for questions.
All right.
Um, how can I find out more about what I'm investigating?
So you crack open um the uh oh God, what do we call it? Visions. I know, Kimmy, do you remember? I know you've been thinking
what
about it, Kimmy.
Visions of Glory.
Visions of Glory. I knew it. I knew
Mm.
you would remember. Okay. So, you crack open Visions of Glory and you're like Googling trying to see if someone's written like a summary or if someone has like um written like a report or whatever that gives you like all the main points or an analysis or anything. And here in the world of our story, all roads lead to Crawler. So you find an internet forum of of people that belong to your faith, like to your church and your faith, but a lot of these people don't seem to be like necessarily from your town. Some are, but you know that your faith has spread across North America, and there's communities, that kind of follow your tenets all over the place. A lot of these people are a lot of these people are like preppers that are prepping for the apocalypse. And they're talking about Visions of Glory is how Visions of Glory is like this manual for surviving that it you know it gives a a prophetic um like a prophetic guide, a dummy's guide to surviving the end times or whatever. And a lot of it is like in symbols and metaphors, and you see that everybody has these competing um competing explanations. And you let's say that the cost to like dig a little deeper is for you to like leave a message on this like sub crawler.
Okay. So she would definitely do that. She would use one of the school computers and would try to she'd do whatever the like random generated name would be.
Hmm.
Let's go secret newt. Um,
Okay.
so it's just the most random thing it could possibly be.
Hmm.
And she's like just starts at her own thread. She's like, new follower looking to better understand the community. Um, can I get some help understanding this lovely book, Visions of Glory?
Immediately you get like ping, 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 ping of people like, you know, doing like thumbs up or whatever, liking your post. And you get a lot of like weird, kind of like probably nonsensical perspectives, right? Some people say um that this that the visions of this book predict a world war between powerful um powerful global political powers. Some people are saying that this is a prediction of like righteous Christian nationalists rising to power and like taking out the godless liberal left. Um, None of that really seems to like ping for you and your experiences so far. Um, Somebody uh with the username, let's see, what can their username be? Uh, so we'll say their username is typing it up.
What was that one guy's? Never mind.
Fearless Unicorn.
No, you're the founder of your religion. Um,
Oh,
Who told us that?
Joe Michael Henry.
Joe Michael
Oh, the
Henry.
three first name guy. That's right.
So the username is Joe Michael Henry Stan, and you
It's
get
four
I,
names. It's four names.
oh yeah, it's four names
God,
now.
it's
oh, four
great.
first names.
It's great.
Um, and the response is um the response is there are things happening here in the prophet's uh in the place where the prophet founded our religion. Things that probably no one else is ready to understand. Uh it's scary, but if we have faith, we'll get through it. DM me if you want to talk more.
Yeah, she goes right for the DM. Like she wants to say it's bullshit, but also like there's been some weird shit happening.
Mhm.
So like while she's like, whatever, this is just gonna be some crazy guy. At the
Mhm.
same time, there's like a tiny part of her that's like, shit, this seems like to make more sense than the other explanations. Like, but she's still playing off like, oh, this book is just, Um, so yeah, when she DMs him, she's just like, super interested in learning more. How do you know all this?
I am someone that has been uh close to the prophet, to the living prophet today, and it really frightens me what has what's coming. Um, but we have to be courageous and we have to remain steady in our faith if we are to survive.
Hmm. We
And
asked, oh, go
uh-huh.
on.
No, no, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
go on. Um,
And he is kind of like dot dot dot. Where are you
mhm.
from?
um, see, it's a mix of a fake, like, or uses a nearby town. Like, she wouldn't use her real town. She would use one nearby just because creepers on the internet, you don't need to tell them where
A,
you're
s-
from.
a city or a small town?
Like a small town. She would pick someplace small because she doesn't know how widespread this religion is. She
Okay.
hasn't really been paying attention.
Okay. So we'll say, you say like Wimberley or something. Wimberley,
Mhm.
Texas. Okay, that's not too far from Bee Caves where I live. There are uh there's a movement um within the church to prepare. Um, you're close. If you can, you should come by the headquarter church and maybe try to talk to get, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but try to get into either the men's group or the women's group. That is really where the real truth lies. Um, I know that ever since I joined my group, I've learned more than I could ever have anticipated. And um, being knowledgeable about Christ's plan for all of us makes me feel safer and more protected.
She kind of takes that in and doesn't know what to say right away. And for some reason, she just thinks like, what would Marcia do? Um, and she's super eager. She's like, yeah, no, you're right. I should totally do that. I can't believe I haven't thought of that before. Thank you. Just seeming super eager, super into this. How does one go about joining a group? Is there initiation, or and she's thinking to herself, like, do I just fucking sign up or
Um, well, I would say talk to the council first. Um, there's a lot of um, really show them your devotion. Um, whether, talk to one of the council wives or one of the councilmen and show your commitment to following the guidance. Um, as we get closer to the end times, the one that has been chosen to represent us before Christ and the Holy Spirit will be revealed. And that time is coming soon. So don't waste time.
He lets out a little bit of a groan, and people around her just look at her. They're trying to study, be productive, and she's just sitting here groaning like some upset teenager. Um, because she doesn't really want to keep playing this role. Like it sucks, but sure, if some dude's talking about, the next Jesus or whatever coming in, then maybe she'll just listen to him just to get a little bit closer to what she's looking for.
You feel, Freya, like something that you haven't felt in a long time. You recall the feeling more than the like factual memory of being observed and inspected. And from that feeling, your memory of those visitations kind of like bubbles up. There is a chant that you can't really remember if it was your parents or someone else, certainly adults. You remember being small and you remember hearing that the chosen will be revealed. And on nights when you remember those kind of like ghastly white hands reaching for you in the darkness, or on nights when you now remember being out in the woods in the glare of this big bonfire, and you recall that line about the chosen being revealed. And it hits you like almost like a physical bludgeoning. This memory floods back. Go ahead and roll to keep it together.
All right. Of course, I close my character sheet. I do that every time. All right. Keep it together.
You know, you're too cool for this shit. As much as those memories are uncomfortable and disconcerting, you kind of are like firmly rooted in the present, and it just adds another piece to the puzzle. Anything else you want to share with Joe Michael Henry Stan?
No, I feel like as the memories come flooding back, she would like grab a piece of scrap paper from her bag and just like quickly jot down some basic imagery, some basic things she remembers, and like kind of circle this idea of a chosen one, just so she has something to talk to James about later.
Okay. So we'll take a beat, and as you're, in the school library scribbling down the stuff about your memories, and I wanted to check in now with Marcia. Marcia. we talked recently about, I think we talked kind of privately, briefly about um women's book club, right? No. No, the women's kind of inner circle meeting, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, well, what if Freya's mom was there? And I think it would be great if Freya's mom was there. I love that idea. Did we talk? We haven't talked about that in game, have we?
No.
Perfect. So, during uh your meeting with the other kind of like um initiated women of the church, Marcia, is there would you have approached Freya's mom? How would
That's
you have, yeah,
yeah, for sure.
tell me about it.
Uh, I would be like, oh, Miss Collins, it's so great to see you here. It's nice to be in this group with someone I'm somewhat familiar with.
Oh, Marcia, aren't you sweet?
I hope you
I'm I'm very glad you're here too.
I hope you don't mind if I lean on you a little bit for guidance and understanding this new text that you've given me in the group.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, our prophet received mystical revelations that not everyone can fully understand. It's it is a gift to know, to to be special and to have the knowledge. It is a gift and a blessing, and yet it is also a great burden to know, isn't it?
Yes. I'm I'm surprised Freya isn't here. Is she not aware?
My daughter is uniquely exceptional and good and bright. Um, Sometimes I fear that the spiritual part of her has been muted by her desire to be a professional. I always, we always try to show her the importance of her faith and of making sure that we were following in the divine plan. Um, but we made a choice not to homeschool, and the godless secular liberals, they will get to you, and I fear that that is what Freya struggles with, is influence by godless secular liberal leftist college professors, um and so for her spiritual growth it's not, it doesn't seem to take root as naturally as it does for you, my dear. Um, Not that it doesn't at all. You know, Freya has been much more prayerful recently. I think that, it has been good for her to see people like you here in the church, new folk finding their faith. Uh, but yeah, that's why she's not yet um, being initiated into this circle of knowledge.
Well, she is making big steps, you know. She joined the book club, you know. I really think she's coming around. And that you
You're
should,
right.
maybe you should trust her a little more than you think.
I I appreciate that, Marcia. You know, sometimes it's easy to lose out on the progress when we're just looking to be critical and to criticize. Um, yeah, that tells me you've been reading your Bible for sure. Um, but when it comes to the mystical texts and the writings of Joe Michael Henry, the most important thing to remember is that this is only the entryway. We are only on the front porch of the house. There is more divine knowledge to be had and to be uncovered. You will learn that as you come to women's group more. There are other rooms of the house that we have, that we're not yet privy to, but soon, all in good time.
When you say other rooms of the house, Marsha's gonna take that literally. So next time
Okay,
she's at um
at the Young House,
the young house, she's gonna go snooping.
nice, as she should.
No, I really appreciate your fellowship, and I hope you don't mind if I come meet with you from time to time for a little uh, Bible study on this new text. It's very different from what I'm used to. And
Oh, don't mention it, of course. And in fact, um, you know, I do believe deeply that Freya has a very special part to play in the end of days, more than she knows. And your choice to follow the guidance of our prophet and to be her her partner in connecting back with her faith and her church. I'm deeply grateful for your choice to do that.
thank you. I feel like this might have been my calling, what I'm supposed to do, and I hope to get to know your daughter more. You know, maybe we could have fellowship with her, you, me, and her.
I love that idea. Well, Freya doesn't like to hang around her own mom too much these days, but maybe we can make it a girls' night.
Yeah, slowly
Right.
bring her in.
Exactly. Did you like Freya like feels like her ears burning?
Yeah, it's just that like sixth sense that like something's going down.
Anything else, Marcia?
No, no. And then like Marsha's gonna reach down to give her like a quick hug and then
Hmm.
skedaddle.
Perfect. Um, Marcia and Freya, have the two of you made plans to get together yet or no? I have a thought that that was like in the works.
No,
Probably. I mean, oh, go
Marsh
on.
Marsha wanted to text you to
Mm.
see if you would be up for lunch sometime this week. Maybe after church on Sunday or something.
Freya would say, uh, I think I can fit that in my schedule. Um, so like not an enthusiastic yes, but I guess I'll kind of meet you there.
Great. Can't wait.
Marcia is just unshakable. Okay. Marcia, you also, you have, um, over the past, week and a half or whatever, experienced very weird, fucked up stuff. Um, and so in a way, right? I mean, in a way, it does seem like, for what it's worth, Freya is safer, closer to the community rather than further away from it, right? Because you're now seeing that there's a lot of, stuff that's confusing and weird, but there's also a sense of like protection and safety for what it's worth. Um, Anything else from Marsha that's
No,
up in the air? No?
I don't
Okay.
I don't have anything.
All right. Um, I wanted to check in. Actually, Freya, as you are as you're like, making your notes, doing your research, kind of figuring out like, kind of like having these, like Raven Simone flashbacks, rather than flash forwards, I guess. You mentioned that you were making notes of things that you wanted to tell James. Um, Before the end, like certainly before Sunday, before church, are you going to reach out to him?
Yeah, she would definitely say, and I forget, she doesn't know that the office has been burned down, right?
James certainly didn't reach out to anybody. He's kind of
Yeah,
gone rogue
okay.
now.
Yeah, so she's just gonna act like she's not gonna know anything's up. So she's
Right.
just gonna like text like, "Hey, learn some new stuff," or maybe not even that. She might just say like, "Hey, can we meet for lunch?" Because she's remembering that he advised her to be careful with the phone.
What time is that text coming through?
Let's say it's like I don't know, Shisha, what do you think?
Totally up to you.
It's pre-lunch, right?
Okay.
Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
it's like pre-lunch. It's still early in the day.
No response. Is this pre or post Willow, Gijo?
Um,
Well, it was towards the end of the week, not.
Let's say it's pre-Willow.
Okay, then yeah, I'm doing the dream thing and I'm doing the me being drunk thing, so I'm not even awake. I'll probably reply sometime around 1 or 2.
Okay. So she just kind of like was a little eager. So she's just like bouncing around a little bit in her dorm room. She goes back there and just is like kind of checking her phone compulsively.
Um, I suppose the response would be, what time?
Well, it's kind of late now. We can do it today or tomorrow. It, yeah, just the sooner the better.
Okay, earlier the better. So let's go with today. Uh, I'll meet you at the diner at 4.
Mhm. Yeah, she just sent like some thumbs up emojis.
Yeah, I would drive out there. I guess I'd be kind of like in a weird fog. Like if I don't, if because again, my setup up to the Willow point last week was I'm drinking, I'm sleeping a lot, and the intent is to try and get into the dream state as much as possible to manipulate with it, and I didn't do great at that. So I suppose I'm just kind of like in a fog, like a torpor almost. So I'll just kind of go and arrive at the scene, probably after you.
Let's say this. Let's say this before we keep it pushing. I think that it will like help us keep things cleaner if we push it um
Willow.
past Willow.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be
let's
a lot to
say
keep in mind.
yeah,
So
let's just say it happened right after you met with Willow.
I would say then, yeah, probably less drunk or tired, and probably a lunchtime call. Then I would actually pick it up. Um, I'd still be kind of grizzled, um, like I haven't shaved in all week, which for him probably isn't like mountain man ass. There's probably just like a little bit of pepper on the face, and then he seems very angry, like agitated, even in his texts. They're very short and quick, and just kind of like done. But yeah, he'll arrive on time if that's the case. And when you get there, he's like, "So, you go first. I've got something also. So, um, you let me know what you found out, and I'll tell you what happened with me."
So she pauses for a second. She really wants to get into this, but she pauses and she's like, "Are you okay? Your text seemed a little weird. Well, weirder than usual."
Uh, uh, it'll make sense once I tell you what happened with me. And yeah, I want to hear what you have to say. Maybe it might put something I have into perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I started looking into this book we're supposed to be reading. For book club, 'cause of course they have book club, and it, there's been some like mixed. I don't know how to explain it. Like this, I met this guy online. I didn't meet him in person. I'm not dumb. But he said something about like this book is something's coming and we need to be prepared. And I don't know. After I read about that, I had some flashbacks. Some things happened, and she just kind of briefly goes through like these disjointed memories that she recalls of, being outside the bonfire under the night sky.
Yeah,
Some kind of chant that all she can really remember is chosen one being said a couple times.
yeah, that's a lot. And yeah, I told you about how they were chanting over you. I don't remember anything about a bonfire or anything. It's pretty wild. Um, so are they trying? Were they calling you the chosen one?
Oh, no, that'd be ridiculous. I think it was just referring to a chosen one. Like,
It's not as ridiculous
I
as
don't know.
what I'm about to say, but yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, I guess. But I I got in contact with well, they sent a message, all right. They lit a fire in the diner beneath my office, and they threw a typewriter in there. My dad's typewriter. And damages weren't terribly substantial. Like, didn't cover up whatever they were doing in my office. They ransacked it looking for whatever they were looking for. Too bad I had all the markers of my heresy. Um, the bottle and the cigarettes with me when I came to meet you on the same day they did it. So I got in contact with Willow, um, and was hoping that they would pass a message along to the preacher, whose name's in my notes, and
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Isaiah, and I wanted to meet with Isaiah directly because in my mind at the time, my brain's plan was I was going to stab him in the neck with a pencil. I don't know. I think I saw it in a movie or something. I was just really angry. Wasn't thinking straight, you know. And instead of coming out to talk to me himself, he sent Willow, who I don't know if they were telling the truth or not, or lying about everything they were saying, because the plan, after thinking about it for more than a second, was absolutely wild and insane. They said that my ancestor was related to Joe Henry. Joe, I'm not going to give him three names, just Joe Henry. Um, the founder. And that in the past, my family has been gotten rid of on behalf of the church, like I presume they did to my father.
Freya's eyes kind of bug out when she hears that he went to stab Isaiah with a pencil. Um, so just to be clear, you didn't stab anyone, right? Like,
No, Willow said, let me explain Willow's plan, and maybe you can judge it, like a third party, telling me how. Maybe my thoughts on it being really stupid aren't sound. Maybe I'm coming at it from the wrong angle. But the plan for Willow was that I was going to go to church this Sunday, which isn't happening, by the way. That's just not going to happen. Go to church this Sunday and then tell the congregation about my ancestry. And Willow was going to help me with proof. Well, not really. They didn't really mention the proof part. I kind of talked them into it after a fashion. They weren't really warm to helping me out in any real way other than suggesting what sounded like walking into a lion's den. They said they would get me proof that I was related to the founder in a direct fashion. And I don't even know if there's tenets in that would make me important or special or anything, and that the congregation would side with me over Isaiah. And the more I think about it, it's just stupid, right? That's a dumb idea. They wouldn't side with me over Isaiah because it's not just about lineage or anything. He has his control over them. which has led me to another hypothesis that I have. Don't you think it's a bit strange that only certain people got these visions, and these visions correspond with my dream walking, my dream state? I think he's
Where do
using
you,
the same power, and he's doing it to control people.
how would that even work? Like,
When I went
you
into
were just witnessing stuff.
no, when I went into Willow's dream, I played with it a bit more, and yeah, I was able to manipulate the dream state. I was able to show them the space outside of their pit. I wasn't able to show the actual space, but I was able to move the dream world around. Like, you know those Nightmare on Elm Street movies? It's like that, but like not. I mean, I hope Isaiah's not that crazy. Like, also the claw hand would probably be a bit gouge. Most folks would probably just use a gun, right? Especially here. Finger guns. Okay. Well, anyways, the point is that I think that Isaiah, like me, has this power. Either he learned it or it was bestowed upon him by his predecessors. I think he uses it to manipulate people, to make them see visions that may or may not be true. And I I think Willow's a fucking liar. Or they genuinely had good intentions but couldn't see that that wasn't going to work. Like, right? Like, even with proof, if I went into the church and said I'm related to Joe Henry, like, what would that change?
You would need some pretty strong fucking proof, first off.
Right.
And it, I thought we said, I thought your power was like it only happened when people are sleeping. Are you saying he can just go into people's minds when they're wide awake? Because no one was sleeping here.
No, right. So, okay, I don't know how it works. But what I do know is the first thing that Mario told me about is how he saw the fields with the eye holes. So either Mario has powers, and he's been a character we haven't paying attention in this narrative at all, and that's our fault for doing that. Um, or Isaiah put Isaiah or someone like him, or maybe one of the circle, but he's the most. I don't know. I just know if I go to church this Sunday, I'm gonna have a hard time not running up onto the stage and trying to kill him, like for real. Like, if he killed my father, if that's, I mean, I guess I'm kind of doubting that too, but it's still possible, and it's more likely. I mean, he was trying to send a message with that typewriter. Why else would you throw a guy's dad's typewriter to a burning building under his office? Like mob
This is
level.
nuts.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
James sounds so fucking nuts.
Yeah, well, okay.
I second that.
Can I give some rationale to my role playing of the character real quick?
No, no, it's not. It's
Never.
not because he is nuts. It's because he's living out a very fucked up experience.
Also, the is nuts. Like the, I think my hold on. I think I need to change it because I was drunk last time. Yeah, I'm down at neurotic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. That too. Sure. The your
it's both.
yarn board is unfurling in front of Freya.
Look, I'm not saying that this couldn't happen. But it sounds like you just need to rest for a little bit. No, please no killing people. I think
Yeah,
that's frowned upon in polite society as well as the church. Fuck the church, but I'm pretty sure you get arrested for that shit.
sure.
Um, and I mean, are you even safe here if you think that they're targeting you? Like,
I they've been harassing me my entire life, Freya. That's why I play ball. That's why I just stick to it. It's I tried to not go to the church early on when after my dad passed, and I was getting ready to leave for college, and they wouldn't let it happen. They wouldn't let me just stay home. You know, the only time I got any reprieve from it was going to college, which I mean, even you know that like a reprieve that's limited. The second I moved back into town, it was right back into it, and right back into you know minor little things, just setting them off and causing them to have issue. They go to the establishment underneath my office. They bug the clientele and the staff there about church and joining the church. And again, it's a bar, right? Like most people are there to enjoy themselves. Most people are there to not really think about the real world for a little while. It's an escape. And so they obviously weren't very well welcomed, but sure enough, you know who heard about it. It was, yeah, me. I had to proselytize to them, or the church was going to be mad about it, even though it could get me evicted, right? I'm genuinely harassing the people that live below me, and I'm paying my rent for it. Luckily, I was able to find a balance and agreement that kind of helped with both sides. I mean, even even just recently, Willow was like, "Oh, we should tell them about the church downstairs." I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's try that again."
I think I think you need some rest. This has clearly been on your mind a lot, and yeah, I'm scared. Like you're talking about killing people, but not people, but Isaiah, which is still a person, I
Wait,
think, unless he's a lizard.
hold on. You don't think he's a person?
No, that was a joke. Like I, that was a joke.
What if he's not a person?
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest. Good work on all those notes, though. That's a lot of information. I don't know who this contact is, but you're smart. Don't be too fast and loose with your information. If you've got a VPN, great. Um, if you can work through a burner phone and use just if the account's in any way tied to any of your, you know the smart stuff. Just don't, because maybe it's a person in the church. Maybe it's that creepy guy. What's his name? Fucking Josh or whatever. Some crazy prepper guy. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, and just no, again, Isaiah is a person, and killing a person is bad. And just don't do that, okay? Like, if you think you might, just call me and we can talk it out or something. I know he's a piece of shit, but
You can see like
he's,
the face getting red, and James stands up, kind of looks down, and like breathes out like heavily, and says, "Yeah, I know killing's wrong. It says it in the book, and if he was paying attention to that, he would have noticed that it was a problem when he killed my father. I know killing is wrong, and I'm probably not going to be very good at it anyway. So you're right. I'll get some rest, and maybe I'll think of a better idea. Thank you, Freya, and again, just stay safe, okay?"
yeah, I feel like she would like call after, like, as he's getting ready to leave, just like reiterate, like, I don't care about a fucking book. And I know that's what's in the book, but just don't get arrested. That's probably what they want, but they want you to do this.
Yeah,
Just be
yeah,
careful.
you're right. It, it it is the easiest thing to do. It might be something they're trying to play me into. It's a good angle as well. Okay, I'm gonna go rest it up. And yeah, heads off. Doesn't appear to be drunk, so he hasn't drank since before the Willow situation. So he'll head home, and yeah, I'm just gonna take it easy till Sunday, Jijo. I'll be honest. I
More more strung out, right? Than
yeah,
drunk.
I think like it's gonna be a lot of like staying at home and not really doing anything medication wise, but like probably like long warm baths or like a lot of time, on crawler, just like searching
Mm,
topics that don't have anything to do with this that I'm interested in, and
mm,
just trying
mhm.
to kind of like de-stress before Sunday, and then at that point, like the vibe will determine whether I go or James goes or not to church.
Yeah.
I just want to say after all of that, Freya's never smoked in her life before, but she really feels like she needs a cigarette.
Should have asked before he left. He has them on him.
Yeah. It's probably a good time. Good thing she didn't. That's the last thing Freya needs. Nicotine addiction on top of being in this weird church. Okay. Um, great. Perfect. Beautiful. Um, Cole.
Cool. Yeah.
Um, let's roll for your nightmares disadvantage.
Oh, shit. Partial success.
All right, the tone of your nightmares shifts. Um, the like you still continue to see the um kind of like in the fractured way that dreams sometimes are, visions of grandpa before and after his breakdowns, probably memories of the funeral kind of bubble up. Um, and as you're like kind of flipping through, one dream bubble to the next, you suddenly find yourself in this field with these deep, like dents in the earth, uh, in rows all across the field. If you look closely and peer into these pits, uh, you see kind of like a big, kind of juicy, slick eyeball.
An eyeball in each one of these many pits.
Hmm.
Oh, that's really horrible.
Welcome aboard.
Is the eyeball looking at me? Is it blinking? Is it closed or open?
There's no lids.
There's no lids. Oh, okay.
You do see sometimes the iris like contract and expand. Each one is unique.
So, at where am I standing?
You're standing on, kind of dusty earth, in between the rows of pits.
Wow. Uh, I'll kick some earth into one of the eyeballs.
Um, the eyeball becomes kind of like glazed in tears, and the dirt washes away.
Okay. It's crying away the dirt.
Yeah, that's what eyeballs do.
Okay. I guess it would blink away the dirt, but um,
That's true. That's true.
mm,
They don't have lids, so
they don't have lids.
they have to make do.
Is there any end to this field that I could see?
It goes on infinitely in every direction.
So if I turn around, that's where it is as well.
Yeah.
Are there any kinds of markings or anything like that on the dirt or around the pits or
There is nothing like human made, nothing be resembling, carved wood or, wrought stone or concrete. Everything seems natural. Don't forget, you have an advantage that might be
yeah, I was just
useful.
going to ask if I'm able to use enhanced awareness.
Roll it.
Partial success. I
Ooh.
get some basic impressions regarding the location.
In recent times, something has been blooming within you.
Blooming.
This sensitivity to something that before you sensitivity something to something that before to you seemed like a fantasy, uh particularly a fantasy of people who were spiritual or devout. In this moment, you realize that you're standing in a vision that someone had from your church.
I'm standing in a vision. Okay. Do I know whose vision it is?
It's Mario's vision. This has come up several times in church when they've been described in detail as like this like exalted event.
Okay, so while this isn't kind of traditional religious iconography that I might be familiar with, it's one of the
You've
visions
yeah,
associated with our church.
right, you've heard this described in church. You've heard Mario describe it. Whenever you've seen Jenny like show you on her phone while she's um like looking at Marsha, like when Marsha was posting things to social media, and you there's like at some point, somebody recorded a video of Mario describing this vision, um, which is ironic because that night that he had a vision, the car accident claimed one of his eyes. Meanwhile, you detect that there is something special about this place. As much of a skeptic that you are, you can't shake the impression that this is not just your mind producing, you know, images in your head. This is something else. This is something foreign to you.
And Cole sort of can't get out of his mind what he learned when they visited Isaiah's house, and he felt certain that Isaiah was lying about what he told us he suspected about the journals.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's struggling with if what he's experiencing is on that sort of understood religiosity of the church, or whether it's some other kind of force that sounds like it's beyond that. Um, I know that there was
So
talk
for
about
this,
like a holy war.
yeah. I think for this, I would like you to make a move and roll to see through the illusion,
Perfect.
if you dare.
I do. Success. You perceive things as they truly are.
Beautiful. So as you're like kind of like pondering these questions, like there's like a little bit of this like vibration in this, kind of dreamscape. Um, and you are certain for a moment that this relates to the church and that there are hidden truths like this, things that are inexplicable, strange, possibly dangerous, and real that are hidden,
By
that are just hidden.
by whom and from whom? Like,
The the totality of the truth is too large for you to grasp. You know that truths this large are probably not being hidden by 12 people in your little church. There is something really big and hidden, and whoever is hiding it, you know, you can't say for sure. You wouldn't bet. Cole through Cole's intuitive like moment of like this spiritual or occult sensitivity, he knows that it's not the church that's like responsible for hiding all of this,
right.
but they know. They've got to know because all of these things are related to each other in some way.
Right. So, like, internally, Cole thinks that this is kind of a big moment for him
Yes.
because he's been struggling so much with his faith, and he's, I guess, connecting a lot of that struggle to the personalities of the people in the church. And
Hmm.
that struggle, like, ironically, was even deepened with the whole thing with Isaiah because he doesn't trust essentially the leader of this church. But
Yeah.
now he's thinking, wait, there's something out there that's real, because I know it's real, right? It's big. But it's just that I don't trust these individual people. So I have to kind of figure out what that's about. Like what's the way at it?
When as like Cole is like putting these pieces together, um, you see in the far distance, kind of like it's hard to really tell, kind of like this blurry, kind of whitish thing rising up out of a pit.
Oh shit, is that grandpa demon again? I would move towards it.
A whitish thing.
Well, but I mean,
It's James.
I'm
No.
far away from it though,
Yeah,
right?
and
So
it's
I don't
coming
I can
towards you too.
it's coming towards me too.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would stand my ground.
Okay. Um, it picks up speed and you're starting to kind of like make out what like its features a little bit more. It's hard to tell its size, but it could be something the size of like a horse or a cow, maybe.
Oh God.
Um, Walking, or rather running, galloping on six bone white legs,
Oh shit.
and the rest of its body is kind of bulbous and lumpy, and on its front, you guess, is like this cluster of like tentacles and pincers.
That's just not good. Oh God. Cole's not a fighter. Um, so it's coming at me.
Yeah,
Okay. So how is it moving amongst all of these pits with the eyeballs?
it's leaping over them whenever it needs to. You have 15 seconds before it's upon you.
Yeah, I doubt I'm gonna outrun this thing. But I am gonna try to run. Um,
Okay.
I'm actually gonna run slant ways, so like I'm not gonna run away from it. I'm gonna run instead of running towards it, I'm gonna run to the side and see if I can slip down into one of the holes where the eyeballs is.
Cool. Roll to act under pressure.
Like, okay. Oh, failure.
You trip and
Ooh,
you land on your face and you smash your nose on the earth. Roll to endure injury.
How much harm did I suffer?
2.
Failure.
Okay. Go ahead and add broken nose to your wounds.
Okay. Uh,
Um,
I,
and
I don't know how to do that exactly, but I will work on that.
I'll put it in.
Thank you. Oh boy.
You,
Either knocked out, receive a critical wound, or die.
yeah, do you want to die?
No, I don't want to die.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kaylee and Jenny they need me.
so you are asleep, so you can't be
Oh,
knocked out.
okay.
But I am inflicting a serious wound, broken nose,
Hmm.
and you know, let's say it's the reverse. You're sleeping, you hear this deafening crunch as your nose is smashed, and you wake up.
Is my nose broken in real life?
Your nose is broken and bleeding. Roll also to keep it together.
Shit. Failure.
Go
I would
ahead.
wake up and I would shake Jenny awake.
Okay. Before you shake Jenny awake, take 2 stability damage.
Okay, my stability is really messed up right now. I'm moving from unfocused to distressed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you are shaking Jenny. It's like, 4 in the morning. What? Oh my God, what is happening? What happened to your
I
nose?
would say I just woke up and it was like this. What's happening? Did you maybe roll over and hit me?
Oh, no. What? Absolutely not. What? Did I?
I
I
mean,
don't
so there's
think
I'm sure there's
so.
blood everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So help me clean this up, please. Help me clean this up, please.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, wait, she would not say God damn it. I'm so sorry. That was
Wow.
that
She
was
would say,
me.
out of
she would say
character.
sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah, she would say, "Oh, dang it." And she'd help you get cleaned up. You're in a lot of pain. I don't know. Those of you that know about broken bones,
So
we
there'd
should probably
probably
go to
be
the
like
hospital,
bruises
right?
around the eyes too, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really ugly.
Yeah, definitely
Because
hospital if you have the insurance for it.
yeah, Jenny, I'm sure has you under her insurance.
Yeah, yoga doesn't have really good insurance.
No. You can
homeopathic.
only have like Ayurvedic medicine if you're a yogi. Okay. So, 4 in the morning, we gotta drive to the ER.
Hmm.
Jenny is like perplexed. She puts Kaylee in the car seat, um, driving to the hospital, or maybe not the hospital, like the ER or whatever, the local ER. What, Cole? I don't understand. What happened? I'm sure. I mean, I don't have any blood on like my elbows or anything. I don't think I elbowed you in the middle of the night.
I, I I don't think you did either. I mean, I'm sorry. I just feel like such a bother lately. I had a dream, Jenny, and in the dream I was chased by this monster and I fell over and into the ground and broke my nose. And I woke up and it was really broken. How's that possible?
God, oh God, oh God, no, no, no. I thought we were done with like those like demonic things attacking you in the night.
I think that we're not done with this. And I think it's bigger than just me. I don't think it's just me and our family. I worry for something bigger. I'm not sure what. I hope you'll be strong enough to stand beside me as we figure this out.
Yes, of course, that's all I've ever wanted is to be beside you. I told you that is what that is what they're preparing us for in church, for something that is coming, something like you said, bigger than all of us.
You need to
But
hear that more and more. My faith has grown stronger. I believe. I believe.
okay, okay. Faith is the only thing that can protect us. Here, let me call Nayeli right now. Beep, 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 beep. Uh, Nayeli Young groggily answers the phone. Oh, hello, what? Oh, and Jenny gives her like the quick rundown of like what occurred. I mean, she's totally transparent. Oh God, okay. Look, um, things things are getting hard for many of us. Um, there are demonic incursions happening,
Is it
but
on speaker or is it just to
yeah,
Jenny?
it's on speaker.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think I've seen things like this, but never not I mean I didn't we don't expect such things to happen when we're sleeping. Um, I think if we um I've been learning new ways to protect us. I can't say specifics because I am bound to secrecy by the guidelines of the prophet. I need the two of you to trust me. Cole, when you're out of the hospital, come over to our house right away. There are other congregants that have been staying here. Do you remember Ethel,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh, the two of them,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, Josh has been helping her at home, and a newcomer, Marcia, they they've been dealing with serious demonic interference into their lives as well, and I think there's safety in numbers. So,
Mm.
um, and I think what I've been learning will keep us. It'll keep us safe. It'll keep you two safe.
Is it possible that some of us are just extra sensitive to this kind of thing?
Certainly. Um, we know that the Holy Spirit has a different effect in each one of us. Um, I assume that it is very likely that you are sensitive to the Spirit, Cole. Um, but so are others, and I know that I have faith. I have faith in the prophet's vision to keep us all safe. So, come over after the hospital, or and I'll we can all have breakfast. I know it must have been a hard night for the two of you,
Thank you.
or a hard morning. Jenny looks like white, pale, bloodless. Um, you get the feeling this is not what she meant. Um, when she was like desperate for you to find faith. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen is to get what you wish for.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And that is kind of like the vibe that you are getting from
He
your
would
wife.
he would just sort of say quietly, "It's okay. There are people to help us. We're not alone."
All right. Um, how about we take a little break? Is everyone okay with that?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, so Jenny and Cole going
Yeah.
through it.
Yep.
Um, Cole, any other fucking around with journals?
You know? No.
Okay.
No. No. I don't know if Willow wants to do it, but Cole's kind of messed up right now. He would just leave it alone. He would text Willow and sort of give him a super quick summary of what happened.
Willow would definitely want to go and deal with that, but I think I'm indisposed right now.
Yeah, he's not like he's asking you to come, but just more like he just you're a brother and wants you to
Right.
know what's happening.
So, Willow, at the end of our last episode, you knocked on the door, and this short little um, older, bespectacled um, woman, a silver-haired woman, uh, opened the door.
Very worried I'm gonna get assassinated as soon as I walk into this house. But you know,
She's like 5'2". Come on.
never underestimate a short person.
You know what? That's true. We can be pretty devious.
But
Okay.
yeah, just because I think we introduced ourselves, or she welcomed me in.
She
I
said,
just
"You
be like,
must be Willow."
yep. So like, yeah, I'm Willow. I was sent here by Isaiah or somebody who had Isaiah's phone. Who are you?
Hi. My name is Conchita, and I work as the church's archivist.
Oh, okay. Noticeable relaxation from Willow at the
I'm not an assassin. Um, you, you are a staple at church. You don't miss a Sunday. You've never seen her at church.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question of like what's your like day to day like where are you
I'm sorry?
like at church? I don't think that's why I was a bit nervous. I didn't know who you were. I've never seen you.
Hmm. Yes, well, typically the parishioners don't come to the archives, so they wouldn't see me.
You know, fair point. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm having an issue with a parishioner. Uh, Isaiah has kind of tasked me with figuring out a way to bring them back into the fold. And I thought I had a plan, but I don't know that it's going well. But I need to find a record that states that this person is related to the founder.
She purses her lips like this. Hmm. Well, there's. Oh, look, just come inside. Don't stand in the doorway like a creep. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm not a creep at all. Nope. Mm-mm.
And she lets you into the space. Um, at first, it seems like this sort of very kind of normal, humble living space. There's like a sitting area, and then like right behind that is like the kitchen and like the dining area are all kind of like one, module, like in a small apartment. Um, there's a couch and a chair, and she kind of waves at you to sit down, and sits across from you. Okay, so you need historical records uh, about related to the genealogy of the prophet. Um, well, if you're here, and you were sent here by Isaiah, I can only assume that you are trustworthy. Um, you know, the church doesn't love it when parishioners or outsiders meddle in things they um, that they shouldn't. But the church likes it even less if priceless archival materials are ruined or go missing. Am I clear about that?
Absolutely. I am an academic in my day to day, so I understand the value of archival and research material.
Look at you. Okay. Well, she guides you um into like further back into the house, through a hallway, and leads you into unlocks a door and leads you into the room that is like, it's not a massive room, um but it is like a bedroom that has been crammed from floor to ceiling with filing cabinets, and like on like the edges of the room, and then also in like three rows inside the room there is like a little desk kind of squeezed into a corner, with like a little lamp. um you uh there's a copy machine um in the other room across the hallway. Uh, you know, I do my best to keep things organized, but there's a lot of material. Some of it is in the form of journals, birth and death records, um, sermon transcripts. So, you know, it's sometimes it's not that easy to find what you need. I'll help you,
Yeah.
but no guarantees.
Which reminds me of my grad days, stuck in a little library at a little desk.
Yeah. I remember a day when I too had hopes of being an academic, but the church has um, its own plans for us all. So, you should now roll. You can do, let's see, probably investigate, and
Yeah, I make them.
you can add a +2 situational modifier, since you will have the help of Conchita, the archivist.
Perfect. Not perfect.
Wow, even
That's with the +2.
with your +2. Would you like to um pay for information?
I would.
You know what? That's what I love about this group. Everyone is willing. to, pay their
Right.
pound of flesh.
Yeah. Yep.
Like physical flesh, metaphorical flesh, whatever it takes, man.
Right.
Whatever it takes. All
Sometimes
right.
winning is boring.
Winning's boring.
Gotta take risks. Gotta lose some.
Hmm. Okay. Um, so so here's what I'm thinking. You and Conchita sit together and you are comparing dates and like pouring through like different archives and these old like birth records and like ancient photographs and uh you to kind of like allow her to help you. um Man, I don't know. I don't think Cole would be this, not Cole, I'm sorry, Willow would be this dumb. I'm trying to think of a way that Willow accidentally like reveals a lie.
I mean, I feel like because you're being like really methodical, really paying attention to what you're doing, but like
Hmm.
over the hours, like you get to talking,
Yes.
like you just have to.
Hmm. Yeah. And Conchita doesn't seem like a diehard um toe the line kind of person, right? She's a little bit sassy. She's not, like Freya's mom or whatever, right? Like she doesn't talk about God or Christ or whatever in that kind of deferential way, which, you have in the past, but lately, you're starting to see that sometimes it's easier to be yourself around the people that are like more relaxed, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you are mm, let's say that you question Isaiah's judgment in some way.
I think that's fair. That's kind of where I
Okay,
was headed.
perfect. What are you thinking?
I think just as we're talking, like just slip in like I don't know, because I'm assuming we're talking like, God is mentioned, of course, the religion is mentioned, of course.
Hmm.
Just be like, I believe everything that's in the book, but I just feel like some of the things the church is doing, I just don't get. I just don't. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the motivations of the men that run this church are often inscrutable to me. So I hear you. Okay. We're gonna kind of put a pin in that little bubble for a second. Or we're gonna put that in a bubble and put it to the side for a second. Okay. So you are able to find a pretty well preserved genealogy that um leads uh that actually traces um from Joe Michael Henry's brother Alberto, something that is noted in the kind of analyses and notations that accompany the genealogy is that Alberto was a heretic. So he was ostracized from the community and kind of forced to abandon his family um, for contradicting the prophet.
So it started early then.
Yeah, seems like it.
Wondered if he knew something that nobody else knew back then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of compile your your little report. You can, make copies of whatever you need to. Um, this is a place that is not open to the um this is a place that is not open to the other parishioners. Don't bring them around. Don't tell them that this is here. It could cause a big problem for you. A lot of the secrets in the church, you can kind of play fast and loose with, you know, if you are bold. But I wouldn't do that with the archives.
If I shouldn't bring people here, does that mean I'm allowed back?
Well, I certainly can't stop you from coming over here. I don't have a problem with that. If Isaiah has, you know, so to say, given you the keys to the kingdom, that's his judgment.
I'm kind of like the possibilities. There are so many possibilities here. But for now, I'll just thank her for helping me. I'll take copies, just copies. I don't want to take any of the originals anywhere near James, and I'll bid my way out.
Yeah, Conchita would not permit you to take an original out of there. She would make that
Yeah, yeah.
very clear.
Highly unlikely I damaged it or anything, but yeah. No, I just don't. That's not James's brain.
I don't damage paper. I damage people
Right.
Strange.
with my pencil.
Hell of a tagline.
I believe that's the italics underneath the name of the newspaper.
Ah, there you go. Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you one more tidbit. I'm like I'm not good with math, so I'm not gonna do the actual math. But narratively, as you're kind of tracing out the eras and the ages and the like staircase of of genealogy and of descendants, one of the things that you notice about the date of his father's death is that Isaiah had not yet ascended to prophethood.
Oh,
He was a member of the council.
How
so
long?
at the very least, it wasn't directly
How long
Isaiah.
after?
And Let's say a few years. You
Then he was
will,
on the ascent by that point.
yeah, he was on the ascent. So, I mean, he could have been, I mean, as far as you know, it could have been Isaiah that pulled the trigger, right? Versus the one who
Right.
ordered it. You don't know who, what, or whatever, but you know that the prophet in charge in that era was a man by the name of uh, Clarence Waller.
I'm assuming he's dead now.
Clarence Waller is dead. His like, 102-year-old widow is living.
Ooh. I I want to put my plan with James on hold. I'm not going to go back to him immediately. Instead, I'd like to go see her.
Okay. You learn um that she okay, so let me think. You know that she's alive, and you know that she comes to church, not every weekend, but often. And you know that she is accompanied by a nurse. You don't know where she lives.
All right. So come church day, whenever that is, I'm going to try to
Mhm.
spot her. And for now, I'm going to send James a text that says, like, uh, uh, I don't know, Isaiah doesn't quite trust me yet. Give me some time. I'll get your document.
Are you sending that on your church?
Well, Isaiah already knows. I
Okay,
called Isaiah
that's right.
yeah. So but here's an excuse on a silver platter to give myself some more time.
Quick question, just for my temporal state. Would that have happened before or after my lunch with Freya?
Say after.
So they got the documents after the Freya.
Sure, let's say that evening.
Okay. Because I would have shown Freya the text at
From
lunch.
alone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if I'd had it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will just kind of screenshot it or take a picture of it with my real phone and send the picture through crawler to Freya so that she can see it and I don't have to use the church phone to manipulate it. I don't reply to it though.
There.
Um, Cole and Jenny, the two of you are kind of in the aftermath of the ER. They've bandaged you up. You are bruised. The uh the nurse, is like, are you or rather, let's say like, yeah, the medical assistant or whatever who's like taking your vitals and kind of helping you before and after you see the doctor. Who who hit you? What are you okay are you safe?
Yes, I think I must have knocked myself. Maybe I fell out of bed. I don't know.
Is Jenny in the room with you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Miss Jenny, is it? We have to, the doctor wanted to ask some kind of like sensitive questions, and she likes to talk to the patient one-on-one. Do you mind waiting out in the waiting area just for a little bit? I'll call you right back. Um, Jenny's like, is Are you okay if I step out for a second then?
Of course.
Okay, Jenny steps out. Hey, so tell me, what do you do for a living?
I teach yoga part-time and I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Okay, okay, great, great. Well, listen, you know, there's no there's nothing manly about staying quiet. Some things happen to you. If someone's hit you, you don't deserve to be hit by anybody,
Hmm.
even somebody, you care about.
Okay.
In the past 6 months, has your partner ever hit you?
No, never.
Okay. Does she berate you or mistreat you?
No.
Okay, well, Mr. Cole, you are ready to be discharged. Here's the instructions from the doctor, and you see kind of like stapled to the top of your like instructions is like a little like domestic violence hotline card.
Oh my God, this stuff is too real.
And
Wow.
yeah, if things get worse, call your primary care provider to have them take a look at it. Or if it's real bad, come back to the ER.
Thank you. Kind of say a little abashedly.
All right, so they let you go. You join Jenny in the waiting area. Hey, what was that about? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay.
They just wanted to do a check-in.
Hmm. Okay. Well, come on, let's go to the pharmacy and get your prescription, and then we'll head over to the Youngs.
That sounds great. This thing is really throbbing.
Okay. All right. So, um, you all go to the pharmacy, get your prescription, um, and you pull up to the Youngs' house. Um, have y'all been there before? Can you remind me? I think you
I
have, right?
I think we
Yes.
have been to the Young's
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Okay. So the Young's house is kind of transformed. Whereas they previously had this pretty like benign, like almost decorative picket fence, there is now like this like tall black wrought iron fence all around the property, with like a chain around the gate to keep it secure. Um, there are more people hanging around the property than you've seen typically. A lot of men, a lot of men with uh, firearms. Um, and This is a day when Josh. Oh, wait, where's Josh? Okay, there you are. Dude, this is a day, Josh, when you have the day off from Bucky's. So, um, what what do you think Josh is doing right now, um, to kind of help get the house prepped in true prepper fashion? And if you're okay, there you go.
Sorry. I imagine the first thing is like setting up some sort of like if we have lights to turn on to
Hmm.
like point out at the exterior. We want to set up some sort of an alarm system so that way if we do set up like a more wider patrol, then we have maybe like radio comms, ideally encrypted. And if there are like other areas other than this house that we need to communicate with, I'd imagine we need like LoRa capabilities.
Holy fuck.
We're gonna need to start doing like um sabotage checks on like vehicles, so he's setting up like checklist items for like entering and exiting, and like inventorying all the items that we have on hand, like doing calculations for how much like rations we could feasibly make it if like we're not allowed to leave the area for a certain number of days. He's just like, it doesn't look like much. It's just like him writing in a notebook, like
Hmm.
walking
Hmm.
around, but that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like Melvin Young, like he almost is a little bit of a cosplayer. Like he's a little bit of of a a survivalist prepper LARPer.
Yeah.
And so like you have you have been promoted to one of his elite employees. So you are like, you know, you are exactly, you are now um have been given reign to make a lot of choices, a lot of decisions about what happens in the house, and all of your suggestions that you've made are kind of, becoming a reality. And you kind of have your own little squad of like uh doomsday preppers to kind of direct,
Hmm.
to help prepare what is quickly becoming a compound. So let's say you're kind of hanging out the front, like pointing up at like the space where you want like the surveillance camera to be installed. Unless you don't want surveillance cameras.
Oh, absolutely, but everything on closed circuit. We're not gonna broadcast those airways.
CCTV. Got
Damn
it.
straight.
Nothing on the cloud.
Oh, fuck
Damn
that.
right.
No. I don't trust Amazon with a goddamn thing.
Like it's like there is like kind of like a dark Zack that is like
Just living in there
secretly
somewhere.
lurking. Interesting. Okay. And so you're like pointing up at the camera, and then you see this like very handsome uh this very handsome young father, and someone that you might assume is, his partner, his wife, and they have like a baby in like a little baby carrier thing. Um, how does Cole kind of like react as he approaches the compound?
Nervous? I mean, he's gonna try to keep it together, but there's a lot going through his head right now.
Roll to keep it together.
Yeah, I'm so good at that. Let's
Mhm.
go. Keep it together. Failure.
Nice. Go
So
ahead and
good at
take
that.
two stability loss.
Oh
Man,
my gosh.
I
I
love
am now
this.
officially anxious.
Oh, poor Cole.
I know. So bad.
So, you see this very handsome but very nervous young dad. You've seen him before at church with Jenny. Um, and they're, so I'm assuming, Cole, that you're not like, hey, let us in. You're just kind of like
No.
nervously
Yeah, and it'd
peeking
be
in.
like almost like following Jenny in.
Okay. Who looks just as like distraught, honestly. Um, so the two of you kind of stand there awkwardly. Josh, you notice these parishioners standing at the gate.
I imagine he also awkwardly stares back at them, but like kind of takes the gun from where it is on like a holster around his waist to like put it in his two hands, not pointed at them. Just puts it in his hands. And then he tips his hat towards them
What?
just to see what they say back to him.
You would
But
just like
he like puts the gun in his hands but doesn't point it at you and then tips his hat to you.
I would just like look away and then walk more quickly.
There's
Walk
no
where?
the gate is
Oh,
locked.
oh, the
There's a
gate is locked.
chain in the gate on the gate.
I just point. We're going in there.
Sorry. You're coming in here?
Uh-huh.
Under whose authority?
Shisha, under whose authority am I going in there?
Don't look at me.
Line?
I just
Lie?
work here.
Oh,
Well,
uh,
who did you talk to on the phone? You talked to Nayeli, right?
Nayeli. Yeah, I talked to Nayeli. Nayeli?
She she didn't send no clearance up this way. Hang on one moment. Pulls out a walkie. Hey, anyone at the house live?
The the maid is like, "Bloop, bloop. Yeah, I'm here.
We expecting company?
Oh, let me ask the missus.
Happy to wait for comms.
Yeah, we're waiting on some liberal professor. No, no, not a professor. That's cool. Some liberal yoga guy and his wife was a lawyer.
You got names, or should I just make them try and do some poses?
Sorry. They are uh the Cavazos family.
All right, I'd be happy to let y'all in if you the Cavazos,
That's us.
and I'm sure you got a way of confirming that for me, nice and easy, like, right?
I'm just gonna reach into my pocket
His hand
and
doesn't move.
pull out my wallet,
He is totally cool and calm.
and then I would show my ID,
Excellent. Come right on
and
in.
and then I
You hear
would
like
like,
a buzz and then like a shuffle as like a guy kind of steps out from around a side of a wall that you didn't see who was also there posted up with me. It was just like
say,
y'all are coming through.
you're very good at your
We'll leave
job.
we'll leave
Namaste.
Andrew here up at the front to keep an eye on the gate. I'll lead you all folks back to the house here.
Namaste.
Is the vehicle staying on the property as well?
Yeah.
All right, try to keep up. And Josh just starts jogging towards the house, like expecting you to get in the car and like follow him in the vehicle. It's not too far, but just like directs you to a part of the yard where you can park the vehicle so it's out of the way of things. So it's
Okay.
inside the gate.
All right. Turns to Jenny. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't recognize this place. This is strange.
Do you think there's some sort of offshoot?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I trust Nayeli, so let's just find her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, maybe we could just chalk that up to a guy who likes his gun too much. Here we go.
And then you look around and there's like 4 or 5 other guys with rifles.
hmm
Okay. You pull in, um, and Josh, you get, like a on the radio, you hear Nayeli say, "Hey Josh, can you escort the Cavazos family into the house? We gotta talk to them."
Yes, ma'am. Happy to. Over. Waits until they like park their vehicle and start to get out.
Mm-hmm. We're putting Kaylee in the stroller.
Y'all need help
We
with
have a
any
back.
bags or nothing?
No, I've got it, thanks. And he would like she's shouldering several bags on his broad-shouldered back.
Mhm.
Josh just kind of shrugs at him and then says, "Well, Niallie's waiting for y'all.
Hmm.
If you'll follow me in."
And we do.
I imagine
Um,
there's like a sitting room that we lead them to.
yeah, Marsha, on a day on like a regular schmegular day, let's say that both you and Josh have off. Do you think you would be hanging around the Young house, or do you think you would be elsewhere?
No, I think I'd be at the Young House. I'm
Okay.
sure I'd be uh, with helping Nayeli with whatever.
Yeah. So Nayeli has been like helping with the sorting of like the meals ready to eat and canned goods and sorting rations and things like that. And the two of you are maybe like in the on the back porch, like kind of fucking with that. And then you get the notification that the Cavazos are here. Marsha, this family has been afflicted by demonic interference, much in the way that you have, and you and Ethel and Josh, and us here too. Um, it has been very frightening for them, and I think you and Josh um, have been very courageous and unwavering in your faith. I would like for you to join us as we talk to them. Do you mind?
No, not at all. Will they be staying with us?
I would like to invite them to. Um, we're running short on rooms, but I think some of the guys are gonna build um, some temporary homes in the back. They might pull in an RV or a trailer. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I would like them to stay. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that'd be best. We can keep them within the wards.
Great. And they have a baby, so that's the hardest part, you know?
Mm.
So come on. And the two of you enter the living area where uh Josh and Nayeli, Cole and Jenny are seated. Oh no, Nayeli walks in with you. Um, all right. Well, welcome, Cole and Jenny and Kylie. I I know that the three of you have been through a lot, and we're working to make this place as safe as possible, materially and spiritually. Um, as we know, um, there are in the divine plan, there are split roles, and one of the sacred roles that um, has been uncovered for me um, by the prophet is to lead the women of our community in spiritually sanctifying our spaces to make them safe from Satan's grasp. Um, and we'll get into that. I just want you, Jenny and Marcia, to know that uh, we will work. I will teach the two of you um, as soon as I have clearance from the prophet. Um, how to protect our families from the influence of the devil. Now, um, all of us here have stories to share, our own uh, exposures to um, the malevolent works um, of Satan, and so I wanted to I wonder if Josh and Marcia, if the two of you can share your story and what you have been through in the last couple of weeks um, with the Cavazos family.
Well, ladies first, unless you'd like me to lead.
I feel like it might be best if you explain, Josh.
Well, uh, there's been a couple of how would you say, encounters we've experienced with some otherworldly beings. There was one at Ethel's house. That's kind of what drove us here to this uh lovely, lovely home. Um, and there was another incursion here on this property, which is why we've upped the defenses. Sort of, sort of creature things, demons, I think, or something. Uh, Not sure, but they hit real fucking hard. That part of my language, ma'am. Uh, but yeah, and sometimes I get these nightmares where I get like stuck in kind of other places and things. Um, might have something to do with my family or my past that I'm still kind of trying to figure out. Uh, but we're starting to. What did that pastor say? Kind of looks at Marcia. I think break the. We're starting to understand there's more to this world. I think, and these experiences are happening to people like us. Sorry, I'm not so good with explaining words.
No, Josh, you explained it just fine. That's exactly what happened. It's been scary for sure, but since we've been here a while, we've put some safety precautions in and things have been a lot better. We haven't had any experiences for a while.
Cole, Jenny, um, what about? I don't want to tell your story for you. Um, can you share what's been going on with the two of you?
And then Cole would explain sort of the three incidents. One is grandfather's journals and the hands coming to choke him. The other is the experience with Willow and the figure, the bloody grandfather demon rising out of the ground. And the third was the nightmare with pits with eyeballs and the spider monster. Yeah. And each time, well, yeah, each time there was some sort of physical manifestation afterwards. Whether it's the bruises, the broken nose, or the bloody pants where he kicked it.
Do you have any questions for each other?
It when you these things happen, is it always the same thing that happens, or are you visited by different things in your dreams?
So there was a dream only the most recent time, actually. Last night, when this happened, he would point to
Yeah.
his face. The other times, I was awake.
Mm.
It was, happening.
You did have one dream, right? Didn't you?
Um,
With the around your with the hands around the
that was
throat?
that a dream?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The very, very first one.
Um, I know. Okay, I can't recall if that was a
Because
dream
you have
or
the nightmares disadvantage, right?
I do.
Yeah, it
Okay,
definitely was a dream. The
okay.
very first
So
time.
then I would explain that there were two dreams. Yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, dreams. That's weird.
I wonder if there's something we can do to like, I don't know, get into that dream or something. Maybe there's some ritual that the pastor knows or someone who could help us with this, but I don't know no one.
Like,
Anybody that's not getting excommunicated?
like, you mean like somehow affect or control the dreams, Josh?
I don't know, or just like kind of make them happen in a sort of controlled way, like you know, we
Yeah.
play with guns on a gun range. We could experiment with these dreams in some sort of safe ritual kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had dreams where I know I'm sleeping and I can make myself wake up. I'm not sure if that's kind of what you mean, but
I just know I've been having that same thing, and he like kind of lifts up his shirt and shows the bandage wrap where his cracked rib is.
yeah.
That happened while I was sleeping too. It
hmm
makes me nervous. I can control things when I'm awake, but can't
hmm
control what happens when I'm under. Not as easily, at least.
Um, Nayeli ponders that question. I had never thought about purposefully messing around with someone's dream that way.
Well, we're kind of fighting an enemy we don't understand, and best
Yes.
thing we can do is get some recon.
For now, the prophet has taught me a ritual that will keep everyone sleeping on this property safe, even in sleep. Um, I will perform it tonight, before before many of us go to bed. Uh, only way to know if it's worked, I guess, is if everything's fine in the morning. It should also keep out any of those things that came for Ethel and Josh and Marcia. Um, Marcia and Jenny, I will need your help to do that.
Of course, whatever you need.
Jenny kind of like swallows, nods. And I want to invite you, Jenny, now um to join also our women's group. Marcia just recently joined, and it has been uh a gift to have her among us. Um, and hold on, takes her phone out and like quickly sends a text, and then you hear kind of from downstairs footsteps as her husband, Melvin, one of the council members, um, kind of like enters the space. Hey, everybody. Glad that everyone is here. Uh, Obviously, I wish it was under better circumstances, but you know, it's uh can't control the will of God, and this is where we are in um in the march towards the end. So, Josh,
Hmm.
um, you also recently joined men's group. Nayeli just told me you were sharing your stories and all that. And Cole, I think it would be a good idea for you to come to men's group too. Um, there is only strength to be found in strengthening and deepening our knowledge uh, of the divine path and of the prophet's knowledge. And you've been through a lot. You have gained that knowledge without the guidance of our group, and we'd welcome you.
Okay.
Um, Anyone who would kind of like to scrutinize Melvin Young, you can try to read a person.
Oh, okay. Partial success.
You may ask a question or two.
What do you wish I would do?
You can tell with the way he's looking at you expectantly, that he is desiring a greater commitment from you.
How can I get you to tell me about some of the secrets of the faith that they're keeping from us?
Come to group.
Come to group. Okay, that's easy then.
Are you going to give him a more robust commitment, or are you going to keep it kind of soft and vague?
What do you like, a robust commitment to attend group?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like, yes, I'll be there.
yes, I'll be there. Yeah, he
Okay.
would say that. Yeah, he would say that, especially if it's going to get him what he wants.
You see Melvin looking very pleased. All right, great. Um, all right. So, the spiral is like kind of flowing inward more and more, as people are sort of like kind of like captured in that drive towards the center. Um, are there any loose ends, anything that anybody wants to do before church? Anything you want to learn, attempt, um,
Yeah.
try? Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know that my initial plan for the week was to like torpor state play with the dream world to become like a better
dream montage.
fighter with it. But after the Willow conversation slash Freya conversation, I think like we kind of saw a shift in gears. Um, I think after mentioning the Josh thing a second time to, or like out in the open, kind of like breathing that into existence, I think
Hmm.
like maybe the night before church, he would try and see if he can see into one of the more devout followers' minds and try and dream jump into the first person that comes to his mind every time he thinks of these radical weirdos.
Okay.
Josh.
So we'll do this the night before uh Nayeli, Marsha, and Jenny put like the protection over the compound.
Okay.
Do you want to roll for your dreamer
Sure.
ability and see how that?
Failed.
Oh man.
Real bad.
So here's what I'm gonna say because I want you I want us to see Josh's dream.
If
Is that your
you.
target?
Yeah, that is my target. If you are going to say, would you want to do it but pay a cost? The answer is yes.
That is always what I want to do
Guys,
is
I think we have a
Is
problem.
is the cost he's just gonna trap me in the dream with him?
Great.
Oh,
that's just a bromance.
Yeah.
I thought
This
we
is
were
what you
just
wanted.
breaking Josh.
We're just here at the dream shooting range, buddy. That's
Yeah, interesting.
out of
Okay.
character. It's what you asked for. Uh,
So, all right. So here you are, the Field of Dreams. You kind of suss out the one eye that will take you to Josh, and you swan dive.
yep.
The feeling is very usual. Like you're starting to really get the hang of this part of the like, okay, I'm here at the airport, let me pick a flight. Like you can do this. You've done it now a few times. Um, what is Josh's dream at first as James enters into it?
Last time it was a memory, so
Hmm.
I imagine this time it's just a different memory. Um, this time of a like truck stop cafeteria kind of area,
Hmm.
like in between moving locations. He's like sitting at one of those stalls seemingly like waiting for a parent to come back with food or type of situation.
How old is Josh in that moment?
He the memory is probably from when he's in like the 12, 13 area,
Hmm.
but I don't know how he's actually presenting in the dream because last time he didn't present the same as the memory he was in. So that's
Yeah.
your call with what he's act, but the memory is from when he was somewhere 12 or 13 and like at some truck stop moving between two different homes.
Yeah. I mean, in case we have to like behead you or something, let's keep you in adult shape.
Yeah.
Um, you um you are waiting, for your parent to want for your parents to come back with food. Um, and obviously James is watching all this from like the periphery, and you have these like mannequin parents, kind of like dream parents. They
They have the shapes of humans, but like none of the defining features like a face or like
Yep,
fingers or like
it's uncanny. But in the dream, like you're like whatever. They're parent coded. So they put like this like big white and pink birthday cake on your um on the table, and in like pink cursive icing, the words awakening flame are, like intricately designed onto the cake.
I'm gonna interject. I'm just gonna sit across from him on the, I assume, like metal picnic table in this area, or are they inside of this? You said they were out in the truck stop, right?
Truck stop cafeteria. So it's
So
like is the
inside.
booth,
it's
it's
like those
indoors.
cheap
Yeah.
plastic booths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're not sitting. The parents, right? They're just standing with the cake.
They're just standing there.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like freeze and like sit across from him. Um, Hi.
You gonna break my ribs too?
Didn't think I'd want to. No. Who broke your ribs?
Some creature thing attacked me in my last dream that went kind of wonky, and I'm having a memory, and I don't look like in the memory, and you're coming up to me, and it feels kind of wonky.
You can't control this?
You can?
I make the parents disappear with a wave of my hands.
The
And
fuck you doing?
I kind of like shift my hands to the side and we're in church.
Who are you? And he stands up and like gets into a defensive posture.
Almost like not caring because like I know like he could probably beat my ass, but I don't think he can here. I say, my name's James K., journalist for the paper. I go to the same church as you. I've been harassed by the church council, and I think you
Wait,
are.
wait, no. You mean you're like an actual human? You ain't some demon that's been like disguised in the back of the church this whole fucking time?
My name's James K. My father, before me, was killed by the church, and I've been at the church doing my best to be a good believer, but recent things have happened and I've changed my mind about it. And I just want to know, point to the cake, what does that mean?
Sorry, that.
Awakened flame?
So that's new to you too then, huh?
Yeah, nothing I've ever seen. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to
You
figure out a
seen it
lot.
you seen it other places?
I haven't. But the phrase definitely it feels like it means something, don't you think?
Pastor told me it's just a phrase for sort of the sort of breaking of this here illusion.
Now, I know a lot of folks get the council members' titles mixed up. I just want to be sure. You mean the pastor, not the prophet, right?
Did say the pastor.
Just making sure. Because I think it's the prophet who's causing me to doubt a lot about his ideas and what he's doing. Okay,
I want to take a beat.
good.
Josh, you would know, you may be new here, but you're not that new.
Yeah.
And you know that questioning the wisdom and guidance of the prophet is like very taboo.
Mm-hmm.
So this person is saying, I go to your church, I'm the journalist guy. Also, the prophet's bad. Do with that,
Mm-hmm.
what you will.
He also has control of my dream.
Hmm.
Like a god.
Hmm.
Kind of on the back foot
Gonna
right
go
now,
find
it's
another.
Josh.
Gonna go find another Sandman gif.
It's great.
So he would say, "I feel like there's a lot going on that I don't know about, and I feel like I'm lost. You said these things are hurting you, and I haven't even seen them. The only bad thing that's happened to me in my dreams is Isaiah saw me moving from one space to another. And the next day, the bar underneath my house was on fire, and my father's typewriter. And I kind of, as I'm saying it, the vision of it is manifesting around us.
Mm-hmm.
My father's typewriter was in the middle of the flame. My father died in a pretty suspicious manner. Not of illness, not of old age. Just died. Random act of violence against him. And that typewriter wasn't exactly something that many people knew held significance to my family. But 1 plus 1 usually equals 2. Isaiah saw me doing something here, in this space, and I know it was him. Because after he did his deed, I spoke with one of his people. You know, the chosen one. The third gender. And
Josh nods.
they came up with a crazy idea about me and about my relation to the prophet, the original founder. I'm giving you a lot of information here, Josh, and I'll be honest, I'm scared of you. In the real world. I'm not a strong man. I'm not a combat-minded man. I know violence could very quickly end me and my dreams. Just as I assume, you got as good as you are about fighting because you were afraid of your dreams being killed too. Is that fair to say?
I was taught from a young age that those dreams can be taken from you real easy.
Those were your parents?
Lots of people, but yeah.
How about this? I'm going to come to church tomorrow. You're going to see me there. You don't have to sit with me. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to do anything about it. But if you remember this, you act however you'd like. If you're in the mood for protecting your dreams, and you feel like maybe outstretching that protection a little bit, can't promise you I'm very good at this. But if things are attacking you in your dreams, I can help you with that as best I can.
Would you be perhaps interested in moving in? Josh kind of smiles at him.
Yeah, it depends on the arrangements, but we'll
Making
discuss.
some nice single bungalows.
We'll discuss that in the waking world. And as I say that, I kind of sweep it from where we are, and I kind of move us to a vision of the exterior of the
Mhm.
dreamscape, the eyes, and I say,
Hmm.
"This is the world I see before I enter the dreams of the others, you included. If others are seeing this, then they must know. If Isaiah can see this, I need him to be honest with me. And if you have access to the priest, and if you have access to the prophet, you need to tell them that I can see it and I want to help protect people. If they want to fight me, then I will die fighting them because I'll know that they do not want to protect people. If you want to protect people like I feel like you do, from having a troubled childhood like yourself, from losing loved ones like you did, from having to run from these things, if you really want to protect folks, then tell them, this is what I see, and I need help.
Now, you made some claims about the church and your father. You gonna be able to move past that? Because I know that might be tough for a guy like me.
I'll ask you this. If somebody killed your parents, you'd want an explanation, right?
I think if I knew my parents better, sure.
Well, I want to know why.
Is
And
that all?
depends on what the reasons are. If I feel like it makes sense, it's been so long I could probably let it stay cold.
You know what? That is an honest and more than reasonable stance to take, sir.
I'll see you in the waking world. And I'll just kind of let him fall back into the comfort of the birthday party or the awakened flame party. and
Go
I,
ahead, Zach, and roll your nightmares disadvantage. Go
I,
ahead,
th-
John.
I was going to say, I think I'll quietly watch his dreams because I am, again, trying to learn as much as I can. Uh,
Excellent.
so I am just going to watch his dreams until I wake up.
So this is a great like pair of rolls. Two
Murder
failures.
to play characters.
Perfect.
So
At least I'm not in there alone this time.
I will
like
say, I said I was willing to pay a cost to
yeah.
succeed, and you said yes, so I didn't technically
Uh,
fail.
yeah. Well, no, you failed.
Okay, fine.
And so the your I mean Josh, you have a perfect recollection of, James coming in and talking to you. Now he seems to be gone. Your mom is like um cutting into the cake, and as she like pulls the knife away with a slice, like you realize that the cake is just full of teeth, and they all come
Ooh.
like rolling and rattling out from underneath the icing.
Oh.
You you know, your uh nightmare mom says, um you have you have the fortitude to awaken, but you're not ready just yet. You weren't ready then, and you're not ready now. And your nightmare mom uh steps back and she just starts like um shoving the birthday cake knife into her body. It doesn't react like the real body of a real person. Um, there's viscous and kind of gloppy sounds as it kind of like pierces her form. And it starts to leak like this um kind of like visceral meat-like organ-like goo. Um and It doesn't stop. It's full of like bone chips and sinew and blood, and it's flooding the space that you're in. In a regular nightmare, like a moment that like grotesque might wake you up, but this persists. Um, James, you watch Josh's nightmare turn, you know, gory and um uh disturbing and gross.
Can
Do you intervene
well,
or
I
do you
guess
continue to back out
well,
into the
well, no, I'm not leaving. I guess the question
okay.
I would have is this is not so okay. Trying to get a little bit metaphysical brained on here. This is not a result of his either subconscious or conscious effort to change the dream. I can tell that. Like, can I see the strands on the dream stuff that manipulates it? Like, I can tell it's not him, right? Or no?
Well, try to see through the illusion
Okay.
and see what is there.
I wish I had done drugs or drank more when I went to bed. Oh yeah, cool. I rolled good.
Success. Your dreamer mind like peels away like these it's almost like peeling away these like skins off of everything. And you see um you see Josh sitting in a um like a chair made of it looks like it's made of bone and sinew and muscle and gristle, and the table in front of him is similarly constructed. And you see this tall humanoid uh, being in front of him, like holding its long um, fingers um, over his face and kind of like wiggling them around. This is the truth.
And this thing seems to be the puppet here, right, of the dream space. Like this is kind of, I guess, not like I've seen it this way, but this feels like what I do, right? When I'm in their dream, I'm in it, manipulating it when I shift it. Is that fair to say or no?
You feel like a little kid with an etch-a-sketch, like watching a
Painter.
painter.
Well, I'm still gonna try and steal the brushes. So I rush forward and grab a hold of the entity's hand and try and break it away from Josh. and just for a moment, hopefully Josh is able to see the truth of the matter. And I would like to use every bit of dream power I have to push him out.
Um, Josh, you see like, your horrific nightmare sort of like buzz and like vibrate in a way that's unfamiliar and weird. You can roll to see through the illusion if you like. Um, you kind of strain your mind and your spirit to, kind of focus as things blur. And you find that um, the gore simply engulfs you, and you kind of sink into the the kind of gooey soup of it. Um, James, the being is tall, kind of. I mean, your mind might like register it as feminine, but it is mostly androgynous in nature. Um, it has no eyes or nose or mouth. Its face is like elongated and kind of silverish. And the rest of its body is gray and lanky. It's not wearing any clothes. Um, it launches you out of Josh's dream.
Okay.
Um, and you don't end up in your familiar dreamscapes in your own dream. You are sent hurtling into this inky darkness, an absence, a void. And even as you can like still feel like the pink glow of the the soup of gore that was suffocating Josh, and smell its like putrefaction, like you can still, like, it was so quick and instant that even as you float, that you can still like sense it even as you float in the darkness, utterly alone. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
All
Thank you for watching those that did, and we will see you later.
right.
Bye.